And should KD have gotten a few more Defensive Player of the Year considerations?
Okay, you give him a few more, but he shouldn't have won the award. See, Kevin Durant thinks because he's improved in something, he should win the award. Because we never saw Kevin Durant play defense like this in OKC. Now, he's come the last 2 years. He's been a very good help defender. I don't look at Kevin Durant as a great on-ball defender. He's the third best on-ball defender on his own team. Klay Thompson and Draymond Green are way better defenders than Kevin Durant.
We're talking about rim protecting.
So is he a better rim protector than Rudy Gobert or Anthony Davis or Joel Embiid, the guys that finished ahead of him? He is absolutely – it is not your turn to talk. Why are you talking? No, I did not.
Jenny, how can I not answer a question? Who are you asking, the wall?
I'm asking the people at home. Oh. That's what – you know what? That's why when we have a poll, I always win. Because I'm engaging.
No, every poll, it wouldn't matter who's sitting across from me, I would lose. Jenny could be sitting across from me, I would lose.
Because your arguments is flawed. Skip, look. Arguments are flawed. Kevin Durant thinks because he's improved, and he's vastly improved his help defense. As I said earlier, we never saw this side of Kevin Durant in OKC. But because you improved at something, Skip, doesn't mean you should win the award. And this is something that you have to build towards. That's normally how it works, Skip. Draymond Green just didn't all of a sudden win the award after 1 year of great defense. He build and build. Klay Thompson has the toughest job on that team because he's still asked to score 20, and he has to
He's not asked to. He can score.
But he gets his 20, but he has to guard James Harden. He has to guard Russ. He normally guards.
His 20 are not necessary. If they come, that's fine.
But that's what makes them unbeatable. Is that when he gets his 20 and the other guy's going to get 25 to 30 apiece, Steph and KD. But
Klay can get 5 and defend the best player on the other team.
And that's what he has to do. Kevin Durant is not having to guard. Now, there have been sometimes he gets in the pick and roll and he has to guard James Harden. Or he'll have to guard Russ. But more times than not, that assignment goes to Klay. Skip, you like to use this in win shares. KD was 88.
In the regular season.
In regular season, 88.
What was he in the playoffs?
Skip.
Wait, you don't have the answer to that.
Hold on.
Your researcher stopped cold at the finish line of the regular season. There's this thing called the playoffs. There are fewer. And Kevin Durant once again won the Finals MVP. Keep going. What did he tell you?
There are fewer teams that are in the playoffs. The regular season, there are 30 teams.
Yes, but aren't there better teams in the postseason?
Doesn't mean they're better defenders.
Oh, yes, it does. They usually go hand in hand.
So let me ask you a question. Where did he finish in his own team in defensive win shares? Was he ahead of Klay? Was he ahead of Draymond?
He was 7th in the whole playoffs in defensive win shares. That's pretty great.
And 2 of the guys that finished in front of him was on his own team. So 2 guys that play better defense are more responsible for win shares than defense, and you should win the award over them. Okay, maybe he has a gripe, Skip. He didn't make any of the All-NBA teams. Okay, I get it. But you can't sit here and say that he was a better defender than Rudy Gobert or Anthony Davis.
I would not.
So, and he's right. The likelihood of him winning an MVP in Golden State is probably going to be very hard, Skip, because LeBron really should have won that first year in Miami. But they gave it to Derrick Rose. And LeBron had, like he said, KD said, I got to be spectacular. I got to go ahead. It's got to be clear cut. Well, LeBron took that out. LeBron made it clear-cut the next 2 years and won the MVP. And when it was close, Kevin Durant won a few more games than he did. Kevin Durant won the MVP. So that's just the way it goes. But look, most great players will always find a way to feel they're being slighted, so it keeps that edge on them.
That is correct.
So they can keep bashing people over the head. Oh, you don't think I can do this? Well, let me show you. And that now – people say, well, KD couldn't play defense. Now he's turned himself into a very good help defender, a very good rim protector. He was more apt to challenge shots now than he ever was. And sometimes they get him and they flush on him, but a lot of times he pinned their shot to the backboard or he gets the shot at its apex. So I give him credit for that, but I don't really know why he's complaining because he has no argument in this debate. He's not the best defender in the league. He shouldn't have won the Defensive Player of the Year. So I get it. He's on Golden State. It's going to make it hard for him to win MVP. But there's no way. I don't really know what his argument is about this award.
Boy, you spoke a long time helping me make my case that I'm about to make because it's fascinating to me. You are acknowledging publicly on live national TV that Kevin Durant is a really good defender. You said that he's a very good rim protector.
Yeah.
I just quoted what you just told me. Very good rim protector. You actually put him at least in the conversation with the best defenders in pro basketball, right? And that was the question he got asked on this radio show. It was putting him at least in the conversation. Why are you not in the conversation? Well, isn't it fascinating and revealing that the two radio hosts are thinking, why weren't you at least in the conversation, right?
But you also got to tell the fans at home, who did those radio hosts, who do they work for?
Well, they don't work for...
But they are where?
They're in the Bay Area.
Okay.
True.
Okay. All right. Well, and again, they love their team, and I get that. But they're stating what to me is very obvious, that Kevin Durant at least deserved a little consideration.
He got some votes. He finished ninth.
I know. So he's at least in the conversation.
Okay, so what's the argument?
So if we put him in the conversation, and by the way, he finished 5th in blocks last year in the NBA. 5th in blocks. Okay. And ahead of him, your guy AD, right?
Gobert.
No, AD, who represented now by Unclutch, but...
Don't do that, Skip, baby. See, you upset that D about to get on that report card, aren't you? Yeah. That's you're going to be sick next year. Next year this time, you'll be really sick.
AD, Capella, Miles Turner, and Embiid. Okay. So that's kind of elite company where you're saying, okay, you have arrived as a defender that you were not in Oklahoma City.
Correct.
So... think about this. He's now one of the best defenders. Okay, can we say he's a top 10 defender? Is that possible? Top 12? I don't know. Somewhere up in there. Okay. So if you combine that with back-to-back finals MVP, 2 + 2 equals best player in pro basketball, because we know LeBron, defense for LeBron is now an afterthought at best, because he finished in defensive win shares what in the regular season?
It was 300 and something.
308th. So LeBron James is one of the worst defenders in pro basketball.
Skip. The argument that then I would just put it back to you. If you switch positions, you put LeBron with Golden State, the way it's assembled, with Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and you take Kevin Durant and you put him in Cleveland, is there any difference in the outcome?
If LeBron were a Golden State Warrior right now, he would play zero defense.
No, that's not what
he wouldn't even cross half court. He would just stay at the other end.
But that's not what I'm asking.
He'd say, you four do it.
Okay, I get that. Okay, he wouldn't play the defense. But would the outcome have been any different if LeBron had teamed up with those other three and you put KD on Cleveland? Would the outcome have been any different?
Yeah. KD on Cleveland would have won game 1 last year, and we would have been off to the races. We would have had a very competitive finals because KD would have closed that deal.
Yeah, they would not...
Well, you asked me. I just told you what would happen. That's what I believe would have happened.
Do you realize how many open threes that Steph and Clay would have gotten if LeBron James is the point guard and Steph doesn't have to worry about handling the ball? He can just go spot up, and Clay can just go spot up. Those open threes that JR was missing, those open threes that George Hill, those open threes that Kevin Love.
Kyle Korver's one of the best three-point shooters in history.
But how did he do in this finals? I think he made a total of 3 in 4 games. Come on, Skip, now. Let's be fair. Look, nobody's trying to take anything. I believe KD is the second best player in basketball. There's no arguing that. Okay, you can if you like AD, if you like Steph, okay. But for me, I'm taking KD. But Skip, I don't understand where he has an argument in this one.
So you know what the irony of this is? That the guy who's won back-to-back finals MVP, who's a top 10 defender, who is on by far the best team in pro basketball, still has a giant chip on his shoulder when he was the guy who left Russ behind and pulled off the ultimate, if you can't beat them, join them, right?
Yeah.
And much of the NBA world probably has not quite forgiven Kevin Durant for that. We still hear from various people like there's no way. Who was it the other day? I can't remember who was saying, I just can't acknowledge that he... Oh, it was Clyde Frazier. Said, I just can't even begin to acknowledge him because look what he did.
You want to put an asterisk by
put an asterisk beside Kevin Durant.
But he has to get some love, Skip. He's been voted twice finals MVP. Yeah. But those same people vote for the regular season MVP.
Yeah, what was his line about that? You can't help it when it gets to that level because he's so good that it's just undeniably good. Like it's not spread out over a whole regular season.
But let me ask you a question. Had they given that award to Steph Curry this year, would you have been upset after what Steph did?
Given the finals award?
Yes.
No. But I thought Kevin, listen, in back-to-back game 3s in LeBron's house, he stood tall, man. He took those games over.
The game 3 this year is what won it for him.
It did.
Because Steph and Clay did not play well, and I'm being nice and polite with that. They played awful. But Kevin Durant kept them close, and at halftime, Kevin told Steph Curry, I got you. I got you.
Okay. And what did he do the year before?
Same thing.
The signature shot of the finals was right in LeBron's face on the pull-up three. And nobody can shoot the pull-up three better than Kevin Durant. Nobody can shoot the unstoppable mid-range jumper better than Kevin Durant.
But he has no argument in this one. He is a top defender, but he's not the best on-ball defender on his own team. And then you got Paul George. You got True Holiday. You got guys that are better on-ball defenders. And then you got better rim protectors. Embiid, Gobert, Anthony Davis. Those are better rim protectors than KD, Skip. So by any metric that you look at, okay, he's the 9th best, 10th best. He finished 9th in the voting. So what's the argument?
Shannon, you're now up against not nice Kevin Durant in Golden State, and he's still mad.
And that's what you up against O'Brien, because you keep on calling him Hollywood. Because you keep calling him Hollywood. Talking about, oh, Hollywood LeBron, Hollywood James.
Does he have his mat on? No, he's got his coast on.
No.
He's got his left coast on.
Call the man Hollywood James.
He's Hollywood.
No, he's not. He's LeBron. And didn't he tell you a basketball player?
Hollywood.
He told you he was a basketball player.
I'm just a basketball player?
That's
more than an athlete, I'm just a basketball player.
No.
Which is it? I need to know. I thought he was more than a...
If he was a tree, a basketball tree, but he just bears a lot of different fruit.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Gets a lot of credit.
That's too deep for me.
No, that's not.
Let's save...